What the fuck is up? Welcome to the Mental Moshpit. I'm Hanna.
And I'm Eric.
How's your week going? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How are you people out there? Hopefully you're good.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's good out there. This episode today, we're going to talk about...
Booking Shows 101.
Booking Shows 101.
Well, probably a lot of people have booked shows that have listened to this. Or maybe you're not even a musician. So maybe you've never booked a show. And that's okay.
There's other things too, like if you're an artist, it could be booking something at a craft
music
fair
show,
or
yeah.
another music show, or there's a whole variety of different things that could apply to.
Exactly. And this might be interesting to you too if you're not a musician, to see like, whoa, that much actually goes into putting a show together. Yeah. Not even putting a show together, just getting your own band on a show. So, yeah, very, very interesting. So, let's talk a little bit about it.
Sounds good.
So, maybe you're getting a new band together. Maybe you're booking your first show. You don't know what to do, but you got to have a lot of materials together, right?
A lot of material.
Even though you seem like you could just hop on a show or just jump on something, just have written your songs and be done, but it's not just that.
Yeah.
You gotta have a press kit.
Yes. An electronic press kit.
Our press kit's pretty cool. Like, I don't know, when you look online and you're looking at press kit, how do you make a press kit for your band? Everything I found, everything is different. Nothing is quite the same. Some things look so freaking bad. Like...
Yeah, I've seen some bad press kits.
Or I'm like, what am I reading? What do you mean by this? Like...
So I used to occasionally do some moonlighting booking for what used to be Hodie's Half Note for Collins. When Bill bought that place.
R.I.P. We
I know.
Miss you.
RIP. So that specific spot was a really cool place for all kinds of different genres of music. But I did some moonlighting booking over there, and that was really before EPKs were widely used. People used to still come in and give me physical CDs, and they would give me, I got flash drives, all kinds of stuff.
People barely use those nowadays.
Yeah. But... then I eventually went on to do bookings at other places. The last place that I did a lot of bookings through was New Belgium Brewing in Fort Collins. They built out the tap room edition over there when I was working for the company, and I really pushed hard to start a music program.
That's cool. Yeah.
But the amount of weird EPKs that I received were things that I can't
even imagine.
Maybe didn't even play. Like, they didn't have contact information on them. You'd pull up the page with the intent of like, cool, I'm going to listen to this band and give them, a fair assessment of what placement I think that they would do well for, if any. And then sometimes you'd be like, click, 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 the music doesn't play, or what have you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Well, if you don't want to go look at a good press kit, you can go look at ours online just to see kind of like what we're talking about, because Eric made a really good one for us. So in your press kit, a couple things it should have is a bio of your band, a well-written biography, links to your music, so Spotify, SoundCloud, Bandcamp.
If not a widget that you can have in the page of your EPK to just have that even add to your plays. Why not? Why not get extra plays from people you send that to? So
exactly.
That's why I did that.
Oh, you smarty pants over here. Okay.
But, it all counts. Every single one of those online, despite what people think, every single one of those online people, they are listening to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Ding.
Ding, ding. Other things you should have are high quality images for promotional use. So I know it's hard to do, bands, but spend money on a good photographer somebody that actually has high quality images of you in person, like actually playing on stage. Us ourselves, I know we're preaching to ourselves at the current moment. We have a date set, so don't come at us. But get yourself some actual, like, high quality images of yourself taken outside of actual live gigs. So get yourself a good, high quality photographer that's going to know some good angles, some different things. Set yourself outside of the box. You look different. You look intriguing to anybody that's coming to actually see your EPK. We have a date set. We're actually getting photos taken with our new lineup. So we're excited.
Outside of here, that I'm actually doing, which is going to be kind of nuts.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry.
Outside of here, I own a photography business that started out as a photography business only. But I've grown. I do video and other things now as well. But, whoa, it's windy outside. Sorry. But the real true meat of that is your band, no matter what your endeavors are, even if it's to get booked at the local state fair once a year, you are marketing your creativity.
Totally.
And so if you don't have, something professional media, whether it's an EPK and all the stuff to fill an EPK, if you don't have that, then that's not doing you any favors. I mean, social media content, website hero image, bios, press releases. There are so many different things that are positively impacted by positive, great photography and great video.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, it kind of depends on the kind of band you want to be. Like, you might just want to be a backyard band or a local band that, honestly, you're like, I don't want to create any of this bullshit. Like, I don't want to make an EPK. That's okay. You just might not get it booked at bigger places or as many places. And it kind of depends on where you want to be, what kind of band you want to be, how far you want to go. If you want to look professional, create the fuck out of it. Make it look really nice.
If you know the people that run Halloween every year and that's your only goal is to get on that super rad festival once a year, do it. At least network, do your things to get it. And if you don't want to do it digitally, that's okay. Know your goals, but also don't let imposter syndrome take over and disallow you just based on something that you could have spent 10 minutes or spent $250 to up your game as a local musician or a regional musician or even a national musician.
Yeah, completely. Photo shoots aren't that expensive as long as you choose good. And, you can get a good photographer like Eric for a low price, but also is going to kill it for your band.
And not
There's
even
so
just
many.
me. There are so many.
So,
I mean, shout out if you do want a great photographer. I'm happy to help any bands create album covers, digital media. I've done all kinds of media for all kinds of different bands. Everybody from Chris K, if you're familiar with him, he runs the Colorado Sound. I've done images for him all the way to Dead Pioneers this last couple weeks for Foco MX. Those guys just got signed.
Yeah,
so cool. But the whole goal of doing that stuff is to have a pro photographer. And if it's shout for Blaze Studios, look me up. Send us a message at the As We Rise band page if you want. Even we're happy to get in contact and help people out with media too. But if it's not me, there's Michael Emanuele who runs Backstage Flash. There's Conrad Meyer. He does a bunch of photography over at Red Rocks. There's so many talented photographers. Yeah, there's
Nick Del
Duca. There's so many talented photographers and amazing people that can help bands create media that will.
Grayson Reed.
Yeah, Grayson's incredible.
Oh my god.
He's shot for us before. Yeah, we've actually
I'm forgetting some. I feel really bad.
No, we've had a lot
Shout
of
out
really
to the photographers that have shot for us.
We've had a lot of really incredible photographers and media people that have helped us out. Even our music video, speaking of important things, was your friend Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota killed it. Dakota Pendleton. What
Color Breeze Media.
Color Breeze Media, sorry,
Yep.
blank in there. But yeah, like we're a band. Eric can't shoot photos for us, so we have other people that we reach out to that do our photos, and we pay them full price because it's worth it. It moves us forward. They're fucking fantastic. So just invest a little bit for your band if you want to do some bigger things.
Yep.
Also on your press kit, include some live performance videos of yourself if possible. People want to know what you look like, what you sound like, what you actually sound like live. Include any press clippings, any media coverage if you have it, any cool like websites you've gotten on, or radio stations, anything cool, and include your freaking contact information, how promoters and venues can actually reach you, get a hold of you for shows. But also, do the reaching out yourself. Look up shows that seem cool.
I'm not even joking. So I get business cards given to me a lot at different, business owner meetings and whatnot. The amount of times that bands or business owners have handed me a business card or some slip of paper or their CD or whatever, and then there's no contact information. None.
Okay, I didn't want to make this too crazy long this episode, but I'm going to add in this story. Do you remember our first set of business cards?
Yeah, I do.
I was so excited. I designed them. They look so cool. I ordered like 500 or something of our business cards. They were great, except for the fact that as soon as we got them, don't die, Eric.
I'm still getting over that.
And you smoke weed, bro.
The sickness.
But I ordered like 500 business cards, and we looked at it as soon as they arrived. I was so excited, and I misspelled contact in our email wrong. It like was missing a C. So all of them we couldn't use because everyone was like, what the fuck, that's misspelled, dude. So we had to reorder them. It was another expense, but it was totally worth it, and it taught me to look over everything you do. But anyways, thinking about business cards, include a QR code on the back. Nobody does it. Also, 1 million people have looked at us and thought we were crazy for having business cards.
Yep.
You're crazy if you don't include your contact information, and if you don't include a QR code. People are on their phones all the time these days.
People love QR codes.
They love scanning something, going, where does this go? Or, ooh, I'd love to see what's on this. Or you say, I don't know, you could make it something cool where if you actually scan this, like you can see how many people have scanned it on your card. I think that was one of the things that blew our minds the most when we did business cards, is being like,
ours is close to 1,000.
Are you serious?
It's like 780 scans. And that's just the one on our business card.
What the?
Yep.
That's crazy. That blows my mind. Like, and people don't use business cards anymore.
Yeah, I know. To me, it's another way to put yourself out there. It does, and it's less about what you think is cool, because I just saw some rant on social media about this the other day. It's less about what you think is cool and more about what the booking agent thinks is cool.
That's true.
If I'm sitting there and hanging out with some of the older blues dudes that I used to play with, and they're like, cool, yeah, this is my buddy, and he's the booking agent for, whatever it is, AG Live. I mean, these are real scenarios that have happened. I love having the ability to be like, check this out. Go scan this. It'll take you to a sub menu, and you can click to whatever media you want to see out of that.
Totally.
It's earned us some cool shows before.
It has. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Another thing with your media when you're getting your band together is you got to prepare your online presence.
Yep.
So that doesn't mean just like one day we're going to get a show. We've done nothing. We have nothing. Yeah, you can get some cool opportunities by just kind of like being the new band on the block. Awesome. But as you move on, people are going to be like, what are you doing to actually get people to the shows you're booking?
You're cultivating an audience. And that's
Absolutely.
so important.
You're cultivating your space. You're cultivating, like, where people feel comfortable with your band or like what you're doing with your band. So that means, like, if you want to stay up in, unfortunately, the way social media presence works these days, you got to kind of be making a post every day to be able to stay in people's feeds. That sucks. Not all bands do that.
Yeah.
It works different ways for different people. Sucks to have to create a post every day, especially when you're like people like us who don't want to be online very often.
Well, and we've stopped caring and putting as much thought behind it, and it's actually been a lot more enjoyable.
Not because we're not caring about it, but because we're
doing it in the moment.
We're doing it more real, like we're being more ourselves rather than like, oh my god, it has to be this specific way. You know what I mean? It is going to be how it's going to be, and people are going to like it or they're not, really. Because we like it. We like ourselves. We like how things are going, so hopefully people just catch on. It's like art. It's like doing anything else. So you just got to be real.
I'll talk about my list later, but I have a list that I saw kind of loosely said, and I kind of changed some stuff around. I saw this passed around on social media a couple days ago, but it's really about the mistakes that musicians make, and one of those things really ties into what you just said. But I'll go into that list in a minute here.
Yeah,
continue.
Absolutely. Last thing for online presence is build a really nice, engaging website that you're going to get people to through your social media presence.
Yep.
Because people aren't just going to magically find your website. Push people there. Push people there to buy tickets and other things, but also make it so people can tell who you are through your website.
But be authentic. Like send a message to them as well and be like, hey,
welcome.
You know, what's up, buddy?
No, none of that.
Spidey's like, hey, guys,
I'm gonna hang out,
I
but
want
I'm
to be
gonna
a part of this podcast.
puke on you.
Yeah, no. You okay, buddy?
So another part of actually booking shows is doing your research. Research into venues and promoters, your local scene, what places are actually, like, playing your genre of music, allowing bands of your genre to play. Like, we've noticed that with
Know your audience.
Collins. Yeah, know your audience. Know who's booking the shows.
Know your market, essentially.
Nobody's going to, like, actually have a metal show on to a place that has never played metal before. Like, don't even...
Well, and...
You can try it, but, like, if they're not down, they're not down.
Spidey.
And then...
Spidey.
Also, keep up with attending shows. Like, go to shows in your local area, see who's playing in certain places, support other musicians. That's super important. Eric's all trying to, like, whisper to Spidey, like, Spidey, shush, stop it.
He just wanted to be heard. He's looking at us.
Shush, stop it.
So...
Are you confused?
No, I was just thinking about the last thing that you said as far as,
Attend shows.
Yeah, attending shows. I can't count how many times that I've been a fly on the wall. I mean, I'm sitting there, but I've been, like, in a band green room or something, and people are like, why the fuck would I go see other bands play?
I'm not going to go listen to other bands that
Yeah,
are playing on the same show.
I've just never understood that mentality. Number
No.
one, I got into this because I love live music. I love going to see other musicians perform.
And
local, national, doesn't matter. I love going to see other genres of things that I would never even check out. I love how your mom ended up going to see The Who play live.
With my dad, yeah.
Yeah.
They loved it. But, like, it's intriguing to know, like, why do other bands play on these shows? Like, what got you into music? I'm always interested to know about the other bands. Like, I hope they're interested to know about us, because then we can create a cool community. So
100%.
And it's not all bands are going to be that way. We've learned that, even though we're like, hi, want to be friends? Everyone's like, no. Well, not everyone. We've met some amazing bands.
But it's because there's few venues, and few venues don't like to pay bands sometimes. Not all the time. I'm not saying that across the board. But if venues really had it their way, lots of them would never pay bands.
Oh,
And so that's why it's created this battle of the bands culture. And I call it that because these bands are literally like, oh, I got to be the best to be able to book over there. So I'm going to dog all these other, other people. I can't support these other bands. But it's really something that the promoters and the venues have created that makes these bands want to like bite at each other, I think. And it's something like when you think of Battle of the Bands, when an actual Battle of the Bands goes on, there's some prize that's probably donated by some company that had the recording time or the spare funds or whatever it was to do it as a publicity stunt. And then they run a Battle of the Bands where they get people to vote online and they have judges. We're looking at you, KBPI. Because then they would farm all of this information out and basically get all of these people to be brand advocates for KBPI to get all of these other email addresses and contact information for these people that then they would go and sell to third-party other people for more money. And guess what they did? They didn't have to pay any of the bands that went into this and begged their Aunt Julie and their second cousin Phil to vote for them.
Please vote for me. I need this vote.
Well, it's just fucked up, and I hate that kind of like we're kings and you're peasants kind of.
We're supposed to be artists supporting artists here. We're all creating music.
But that's where breaking that Battle of the Bands mentality and supporting, you don't have to like everybody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of bands that I'm not even into their music, but I'll still freaking hang out with them and chill with them, and I dig them as people, and I dig what they're attempting to do with music. I think it's incredible. Hopefully they feel the same about what we're doing. They don't have to like what we're doing either. But I do think that Battle of the Bands mentality has really shifted and made bands think that they have to really battle other bands to get ahead. And obviously as we rise, the communal we, like, I've always wanted to break free from that. And I think that that's a really bad way for a long, sustainable growth thing, like you can't survive if everybody's cutting each other down.
Absolutely. Completely agree. Other things to help get your band booked, or to continue getting your band booked is pitch your act. Craft an email. Send an email. I know it's scary. Send an email to some of these bigger places. Send an email about big shows you see coming up that seem interesting, that you really want to be on. Say, hey, this looks cool. Let's just, I don't see any supporting acts on this. Let's just try, Put a subject line, be clear, concise. Say your band, the dates you're interested in. Introduce yourself. Put a good, explaining why you want to play at the venue, what you can bring to the show, your draw, your promotion. Include links, availability, and then thank them for their time. Include your contact information so they can actually, get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then follow up with them. Reach back out. Sometimes you think you're being that annoying person, but reach back out over and over sometimes if you have to. Let them know you really are interested. It's
just like I hear all the time people like,
they might think I'm being annoying.
I applied for this job and I haven't heard back. And I'm like, well, did you contact them? Because if I was a manager, I would never hire anybody that didn't reach back out after the application. That would be like step one for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's just me.
So once you got your band booked for a show, negotiate your terms, or once you're in the process of, I guess, negotiate your terms. So your payment, discuss a guarantee, door splits, bar percentages, whatever works for the place you want to play, whatever works for you and your band. Maybe it's nothing. It's whatever works for you. Understand how ticket sales will be managed, and talk about technical requirements. I can't talk with my pays.
You crack me up. Oh, man.
Discuss load-in and sound check times. Talk about your stage writer, your technical writer, your sound and lighting requirements, whatever your band needs. Like, be straightforward about it. You pause it?
No. Just making sure it keeps going.
What pays you post it? Promotion. Let's talk about promotion. Yeah.
What you got?
So like collaborate with the venue, work with the venue's promotional channels, see if they're willing to actually like connect on posts with you.
Yep.
There's a new thing on Instagram.
Collaborators.
Let me tell you, it's sometimes hard to get actual venues to collaborate. What
Collaborate.
the frickety frack? Collaborate on posts with you. But that is good for both of you. It goes into both of your feeds.
Yep.
Your band page and the actual venues.
It's a way to like almost post from somebody else's page where it allows you to tap into their following and get in front of their exact followers like they shared your content.
Absolutely. And sometimes I think collaborations are hard with people and with venues because maybe they have like a posting schedule or something, but just an idea, maybe send them a message ahead of time and be like, hey, I'm thinking about putting up this post and adding you guys as a collaborator. You want to accept that? Maybe it'll go into both of our feeds, gain promotion for the show for everybody.
The
Bring
best
more
way
people.
to do this, and especially for larger venues, so you play at smaller theaters and you probably won't get these types of emails, but you get to the 1,000-person plus theaters and venues that house larger acts, regional, nationals. They're going to actually have a separate social media team that will likely send you a message saying, hey, here's what we're doing, here's what we expect from you as a band to promote this show. And then I always use that as an opportunity to say, hey, here's our EPK that actually even has downloadable media. Like, go download some photos and post away. Like,
Yeah.
Here you go. It's free promo for us. Like, why not?
Absolutely.
But that's a great opportunity to ask and say, hey, what could we do together to push this?
What can we do? What can we do to work together? Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think this is something really important to bring up is Facebook events.
Yep.
There's
Big
several.
time.
I think there's several parts of this too, because one of them we're trying to deal with currently, and I guess some bands deal with it if you're kind of accepting events.
Yeah.
What is that called? Event.
On Facebook events, they will add you as a co-host.
Co-host. Thank you.
So when you accept that, it'll actually update your followers, and it's a higher feed priority because Facebook is trying to keep people on Facebook. So if there's more events and cool stuff to do, they're going to help push that for you.
Completely.
So accepting that into your feed is great. However, the one negative is that a lot of the time,
but it's awesome, and you can invite people to those shows through that. Let's think positive first, because I agree. I'm going down that path.
Okay.
I
Right.
totally.
You know where I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's the only reason that's why I'm like, this is important to talk about, but there's a big downfall. So important to talk about because, yeah, you can invite all of your Facebook friends over time, depending on like how many you have and like how many it allows you to do at a time. So you can be like, oh, let's invite this many at a time and get all your friends to come or send them all a personal message or whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome. Connects them to the actual date, all of that. You don't have to send them anything. But downside, Eric, you ready for it?
Yep.
Drum roll. Fucking stupid. It connects you to usually to buy tickets.
Yep.
Their page, their website of
From
the
venue.
So
or the promoter. So that means that you as a band do not get credit for that purchase.
That the person you invited,
Yep.
you don't get credit. Because as a band, usually when you're promoting these shows, you're selling tickets through your name. So you either owe a certain amount back, or what is it? You have a certain people that you sold to on a list, or you've sold a certain amount of tickets or whatever.
Like
it
will
is.
call. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Brain, work, brain.
Just so you all know, it's always like this.
I know. God, and I've had a cocktail, and we're smoking. And
hey, by the way,
I have a lot to say because I'm intrigued.
we will drink cocktails while we do this occasionally. If you are a person that cannot drink cocktails, we promote your sobriety.
Poppy.
Yeah, no, hold on. We appreciate your recovery. We don't want to undermine your struggle whatsoever at all, and hopefully that's not triggering in any way to you in your process of recovery.
So finishing this off, we'll talk about personal promotion as well in the band. Yep. Eric and I promote like crazy. We're getting all of our bandmates to promote like crazy. It's kind of a process. Everybody has different lives. Everybody has different like priorities and time that they can spend on that, or who they can actually promote to. You know, everybody has a different group of people.
My favorite person. I remember asking this dude who at the time I was like, wow, this guy's like living the dream. He's producing all these albums. He's recording at the Blasting Room, staying at the Blasting Room. It's Jason from Authority Zero. Mm-hmm. And one time I booked them at New Belgium once, and I was driving them back to the studio over there, and I asked him, I was like, dude, how are you so successful? Like, what's your key? And he looked at me and he's like, well, you got to believe in yourself. He's like, if you don't believe in yourself, why would anybody else believe in you?
Yeah, dude. For real, though.
But I mean, like, it really took a few minutes to sink in that that's really important.
Believe in yourself.
Promoting.
Believe in your music. Believe in the reason why you're trying to get your music out to other people. You know what I mean? Like, believe in your message or whatever you're the music for. You want to play it to people for a reason, so get it out there. Create flyers, posters, social media, graphics, all sorts of things you can do or post all over the place. It doesn't cost very much. It's worth it. Get people to see it. Fort Collins has a bunch of different, like, places online you can post, or places in person you can post in actual places. So engage with your fans through your social media, and if you want to do a mailing list, send people messages, send people replies back. Don't leave them on read. Let them know they're important to you, because I mean, they're your fans. Come on.
Yep.
And then last couple things for booking shows. Day of the show. Prep for your show. Arrive on time for load-in and sound check. Bring everything you need that's necessary for equipment. Don't forget things. It happens to us all. But be prepared for a backup or something else. Bring backups, cables, strings, etc., whatever you need. Microphones. And then during your performance, be professional, be respectful to the venue staff, other bands. Put on a great motherfucking show. Leave that place with a lasting impression of you that's good, big positive, time. That they want you back.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't want to go back. Maybe they want you back. Yep. Good way to leave it. Sometimes, depending. Yep. Maybe most of the time you just want it to be positive shows. All around.
Everybody has had bad shows. But it's all about the effort and the way that you make it and doing the best you can with this list.
Absolutely. And then post-show, thank yous. Thank you to the venue staff, promoters, anyone who helped. Follow up with an email, message expressing your gratitude. And then feedback and networking. Ask for feedback from the venue and from promoters. Stay in touch with the contacts for future opportunities. Maybe there's an amazing show coming through. And additional tips, build relationships with everybody you meet. Everybody maybe has a cool connection. Small world, man. So yeah. And persistence. Booking shows can be challenging, and professionalism is key. So just keep up with everything you're doing. If you want something, keep pushing for it. You deserve it. Believe you do deserve it. And then Eric has a couple 7 mistakes that we can create when we're doing the booking industry.
So I saw this floating around the other day on social media, And I thought that, I thought the list was good. I kind of made some amendments that I thought were more for us.
Totally.
So this is my version of the 7 mistakes musicians make. Number 1 is just fear versus action. I mean, it's literally imposter syndrome. We talked about it in our last episode. Look up episode 3 if you want to get into imposter syndrome. Sucks. So just, doing something is so important, which was our post today about doing something.
And venues don't want to book a band that thinks that they suck.
Yep, exactly.
They want a band to book that they know actually rocks.
Yep. Invest funds. If you're not willing to invest money into your band, it's just like a business. You can't just expect that, cool, well, I have this business idea, it's great, and it's just going to work and people are going to start paying me money. No, you need to invest funds. You need to invest it in infrastructure. You need to invest it in marketing. You need to invest it in, equipment to be able to do it. And a band is no different.
Yeah.
That's really important. Seeking shortcuts like fake plays and streams and stuff like that. Like we've encountered quite a few different situations that I'm like, there's no way.
At first you see it and you're like,
wow,
what?
That's amazing.
How did they do
those
that?
people aren't truly listening. And that's not.
Sometimes they are, but you see those ones, oh my God, no.
Well, but to my point though, is that you want authentic listeners. Like I wouldn't want anything that wasn't real. Like it's not worth it. Like everybody that's watched our YouTube video watched it. Everybody that's listened to our Spotify has listened to it. And that feels good. It might not be a lot, and that's okay. We're slowly cultivating that audience. So,
but they're real.
But they're real, and they all count. And they all count.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
To me, that's a hard part of that. And then the other side of it are scams. There are no get rich quick. There are no lotteries. Some of those, speaking of scams, like the Battle of the Bands, that's a scam to me. It is. That's why we don't play them. I've refused. We've been asked several times to play a couple Battle of the Bands, and I always just say, nope, not my thing. Not doing it.
Can I say one thing really fast? I know we're trying to make it quicker, but I listened to a podcast the other day that was like, literally, there is no fucking thing, like no such thing as people being like, I am a one-day success story. It doesn't happen. Sometimes there's the random 1%, but people usually have worked for it for a really long time. Yep. And it happens not overnight, over a long time of working really hard for something. Oh, yeah. So.
Well, and consistency is key. That's all part of that stuff. But the big one for me is not being seen in the scene. Like, if you are not going out and supporting shows and being a part of the music scene that you want to be a part of, why should anybody pay attention to you? So I see people that are like, God, well, I don't get into this venue. Well, have you gone in and actually met the staff that works there? Have you talked to the sound person? Have you gone in and chatted with some of the bands that play there and figured out how they booked that show? Like, that's so important. And so that's just a big miss that I see. That's a huge mistake that musicians make in all formats of wherever they're at. Not giving effort towards the project. That's, part of that fear and action type stuff that, if you're unsure or imposter syndrome or whatever it is that's causing you to just dilly-dally, like that's not helping you move forward, and you should have a plan. And then just really that if I created it, the people will come. You know what I mean? That mindset is so, like, it's not good. And that's one of the reasons, I have even chosen to do this band versus other bands that I've had experiences like that in, because it's just not one of those things that you can't just be awesome and then you're famous. Like, it doesn't work that way. There's a lot of external factors into doing that, and then part of it is luck. And
you could be awesome playing in your basement and not pushing yourself to get out there. No one would hear you that you were awesome, and you wouldn't make it big.
Yep. So to my thought on all of that and wrapping that last part up, that last mistake, I think the way to do it is to consistently promote yourself, the way that you believe in your vision and your goals and your dreams, to other people, like they should be excited about it too. And if you do that and find a way to connect with that audience that's yours, whatever audience that may be, it's done in an authentic way. And I think that that's truly the way to get people to pay attention to what you're doing, and even for you to keep getting excited about the things that you're doing. Like, I don't want to go and not be excited about the things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So,
put your soul on the line. Give it a little bit of time. And everyone will come and care about you.
Every day it's like this. Every day.
You like my tune, then come back to another episode.
Hannah makes all kinds of...
The Mental Moshpit.
Hannah also makes all kinds of noises. So there's going to be something where you, like, make a noise in some episode. It's going to happen at some point. But anyway.
The noises will come.
All right. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate you. I'm Eric. This is Hannah. We are the better part of the Mental Moshpit. Until next time, you will hear from us soon. Thank you for hanging out with us. Go stream our music, go listen to other episodes, and never stop believing in your dreams.
And take care of yourself. We love you.
Goodbye.
Bye.